Harihi Om. Om Gananaam Tva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavin Kavina Bhupamashchavastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadana Chanmannudi Vistida Sadhanam Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Shruti Smruti Puranana Malayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parjanta Bante Shri Guru Paramparam Om Shri Shankaracharya Swami Namaha Om Sahana Bhavato Sahana Bhunaktu Sahabijam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Iti chetrantata jnanam jneyam choktam samasataha madbhaktaye tadvijñāya madbhavayopapadyate.
Anupama Bhagini.
Prakritim purusham chaiva vichanadi bhavapi vikaranshcha gunanshchaiva vidhi prakriti sambhavan.
Good.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini. Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Namaste sir.
Namaste.
Arya karana kartrutve hetu prakriti ruchyate purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve hetu ruchyate.
Just remember, it is Karya Karana. There's a mistake in the print. Okay.
Oh.
I will ask once Kanchana Bahini is back, I'll take her help in getting it corrected. And if you have any text that you are following, just make this Karana, not Karana.
In my book also it is Karana only, sir. Don't know. Karana I should do.
It is primarily Karana. Karana means instruments. Karanam means cause. Karanam means instrument. And in this place, it is instrument primarily. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetuhu Prakriti Ruchyate.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just note it down.
Should I chant it again, sir?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Ruchyate Purusha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Hetu Ruchyate.
Good.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Purusha prakrutisto hi bhunte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna sangosya tadasadyo nijanmasu.
Good.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Okay.
Upadvasthanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha paramatmeti chapyuktaha dehesmin purushah paraha.
So we are done up to this shloka last week. We will continue new shloka for today.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Yaye Vauvet Purusham.
Yayevam veti purusham yayevam veti purusham
Prakrutincha gunai saha.
prakritincha gunai saha prakritincha gunai saha
Yaye Vauvet Purusham. Prakrutincha gunai saha.
yayevam veti purusham prakritincha gunai saha yayevam veti purusham prakritincha gunai saha.
Next.
Rajeshwari Bhagini.
Sarvatha वर्तमानोऽपि
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि
न स भूयोऽभिजायते
न स भूयोऽभिजायते न स भूयोऽभिजायते
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽभि न स भूयोऽभिजायते सर्वथा वर्तमानेऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
Good. Next.
शीला भगिनी
य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह
शीला शिंदे भगिनी
Yes, yes, sir. य एव वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह य एव वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह.
Good. Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
Good. Next.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी
य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्ववर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते
य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
Good. Next.
कश्मीरा भगिनी
य एव वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी
य एव वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
Good. Next.
शांति बद्री भगिनी
नमस्ते.
Understand.
य एव वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
So we go to the meaning of this. In this, Bhagavan says, "Na bhuyaha abhijayate." Saha, that particular person, na bhuyaha abhijayate, the last padam. That particular person does not again get reborn. That is the meaning of that. Saha na bhuyaha abhijayate. He does not get reborn. Who is that? Yaha. That person, evam veti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha. The one who is able to understand what is purusha and the one who is able to understand what is prakriti along with the gunas of prakriti. Because we have to understand that the Purusha is Atma. Purusha is Brahman or consciousness. Consciousness is eternal. Consciousness is Nirgunam, Nirvikalpam, Nirakaram. So it is absolutely beyond gunas. It is changeless. It is eternal and it is always present. Okay. Whereas Prakriti is born at some time and the Prakriti will undergo all the changes and Prakriti will have all the characteristics. It will have gunas also. And then Prakriti means anything that is also going to die away. Anything that is Prakriti has got its own gunas. So Prakriti is always with gunas, and Purusha is absolutely Nirgunam, Nirvikaram, all those kinds of things, eternal, etc. So the person who is able to very clearly understand Purusha and Prakriti, if he is able to clearly understand that, and along Prakriti along with the various kinds of gunas, then those kinds of people, Sarvatha Vartamanopi, they may be engaged in their day-to-day activities as when they are living in this human body. Okay, even though they may be engaged in this particular human body and continuously engaged with the normal activities like any other person, na saha na abhibhuya abhijagate. Those people will again not get reborn. So now the first thing that we need to understand is that this particular body, this, if you look at whatever we are seeing, it's a combination between Prakriti and Purusha. We have to understand that when they say my, we lose our understanding of consciousness. Normally, till such time we studied Vedanta. Now, after studying the 13th up to the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and also kind of various kind of conditionings all of us have undergone right from our childhood, because we all have been born in Sanatana Dharma family. We have come to a situation now where we should be able to have the wisdom to understand that I am a mixture of Prakriti and Purusha. I am a mixture of that which is going to die, like the body, and Purusha, which is going to be the eternal consciousness. So that wisdom has got to come. Okay, because Purusha is Nirguna, Nirvikara, Satya, Chaitanya. That is the kind of tattvam that is there for the Purusha. Whereas the Prakriti is going to be having all gunas saha. It is going to have all kinds of guna. For example, if the body is, if you take a body, we can say he is a fat fellow, he is a lean fellow, he is a dark fellow, he is a tall fellow. We have got all attributes are coming, you see. Tall fellow, he's fair, he's dark, he's tall, he's, all those kinds of things are going to come. And then we also may have, this is all stula. Stula means at the body level. You have all these kinds of gunas are there. Mind level also you got anger, envy, jealousy. That is also there as a part of guna. This fellow's character is that, yeah, he's always jealous. That's what we say. So anything that is associated with guna is a part of Prakriti. Okay, so gunais saha, anything that is with gunais saha is Prakriti, and the person has got to understand that Purusha is different, Prakriti is different, and my true nature is Purusha. Okay, for that, though we may be engaged in the day-to-day activities, still if that understanding is there and one is able to have an understanding of his own Atma realization, then those people will not be reborn. One other thing that you need to understand is that supposing, I see my hand here, okay? What did I see? You all may see your hand. But we have to understand that actually what I see is not only the hand is there as an object. There's a light incident on the object. The light that is falling on the object gets back into my eyes as in the retina, and that particular light is being understood by the retina, the optic nerves, and through the brain that it is the hand. So anytime when I start looking at any object or including my own physical part like hand, we have to understand that it is just not the hand, it is a combination of hand plus light, which is incident on that, which is getting reflected, and that's what we are seeing. Like Prakriti and Purusha, like that light and the body, these two things combined only is able to make me to realize this particular object. Similarly, now when you have this understanding, what is that? Now I see only my hand, but still what happens is that I have got a cognition. The cognition is that it is a combination of light and body. That understanding we get. When I see an object, the cognition tells me it is just not the object, it is the object plus the light that is coming back to me. So it's a combination of this and that. Can I remove the object and the light independently? Can I remove them? Impossible to remove. Light you cannot remove from the object. Similarly, conscious light is pervasive. It is pervaded everywhere. You cannot remove it. Similarly, the Prakriti and Purusha cannot be, removed physically and say this is Prakriti and this is Purusha. But the cognitive understanding that you have should make you understand that this is Purusha, this is Prakriti. That understanding should come. Like this is my hand, but hand plus light is what I am seeing. Purusha plus Prakriti is what I am. That understanding, whoever is able to have the understanding of Purusha and Prakriti with all the kinds of characteristics, those people are the one, though they may be engaged in the day-to-day activities, doing all those kinds of stuff, they will not be reborn. That is the meaning of this sloka. Okay? Next.
Anupama Bhagini.
ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
केचिदात्मनमात्मना केचिदात्मानमात्मना
ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना.
Good. Next.
Ke Pavani Bhagini.
अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन
कर्मयोगेन चापरे
कर्मयोगेन चापरे कर्मयोगेन चापरे
अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Good. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Bhagini.
ज्ञानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
Full shloka.
महोदय ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Good. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Yes, sir. ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Go person.
Kashmira Bhagini.
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Okay. So from the Shloka number 25 to the end of this chapter, Bhagavan is going to talk about what is the kind of palam a person is going to get when he is able to have an understanding between Purusha and Prakriti, Kshetrajnan and Kshetra. If the person is able to have the understanding that this particular body, whatever we see, is a combination of both Purusha and Prakriti, the wisdom one's able to get, and then how is that person going to be next? What is the palam of that? So, for example, all of us have now got some level of understanding that Purusha and Prakriti combination is whatever is the living being. So any living entity that you have is a combination of Prakriti and Purusha. And we have to understand that when the Shariram plus Mana Sayoga is Jananam. The Shariram is the physical body, Stula Sarira, plus Mana is Sukshma Sarira. So Shariram and Manam, when they just come together, that becomes Jananam. That becomes a birth. That birth means that the consciousness starts reflecting in the body, and then it is one of the living sentient entities. Then Shariram, Mana, Viyogam, when the disconnect between the Stula Sarira and Sukshma Sarira, that is called Maranam. That becomes death. Consciousness still remains as the same. So it is just the Stula Sariram plus Sukshma Sariram. The presence of in the consciousness becomes a sentient being. To Sukshma Sariram, when it is devoid of the Stula Sariram, devoid of the Sukshma Sariram, despite presence of consciousness, he is going to be dead. So Jananam, Shariram plus Mana. Mana is supposed to be the combination of all the Sukshma Sariram. Shariram plus Mana is Jananam. Shariram Mana Sayogam is Jananam. Sharira Mana Viyogam is Maranam. So that is one of the things. Now he is talking about the palam of understanding Purusha and Prakriti. Now Jnanena, by doing jnana, Atmani Atmanam Atmana Pashyanti. Look at this thing. Atmanam is the self. Atmani, in the mind. Atmana, by the buddhi. You understand this beautiful combination? Atmani, Atmana, Atmanam. You have to understand it very clearly. Because Atma is used for the self, Atma is used for buddhi, Atma is also used sometimes for mind. Sometimes in initial stages of understanding, Atma may also be used for the body. Let us not get confused. The Atma can be used in multiple ways. In this case, some people, Atmanam is the Atma, the self. Atmani, that at the end of the day, how do you realize this Atma? Atma is absolutely Nirgunam, and this body is Jadam. So the only way by which somebody will be able to know their self is through the mind and buddhi. Mind and buddhi are the important faculties which alone one will be able to have apprehension of or cognition of the Atma. So Dhyanena, by doing meditation, Atmanam, the self, Atmani, Atmana. Atmani means in the mind, Atmana, by the buddhi, Pashyanti, it is possible to see or it is possible to realize. So now you have to understand that what Shankaracharya says is that Guru Shastra, when you say buddhi, you have to see Atmana Pashyanti, you have to see with your buddhi. Then what is that buddhi that one needs to have? Shankaracharya says that it has to be Guru Shastra Upadesha, the buddhi which has been cultivated by Guru, a person who is able to clarify all the kinds of doubts, and the understanding of Shastra. having lot of Upadesha. So Guru Shastra Upadesha Buddhya, we'll be able to get that. So the mind has got to be prepared with the Guru, with Shastra. I think all of us are undergoing some teaching now. No? These kinds of understanding is extremely important. Okay, so Guru, Shastra, Upadesha, Antakaranena. At the end of the day, with all these things, and the Antakaranam is very, very important. That is the mind or buddhi is important. Only with that, one will be able to see the Atmanam, the self. Okay. Now, at this stage, who is seeing the self? I see myself as Atma. You understand? Just try to understand, no? When you are doing that with my mind, I see myself as Atma. I realize my Atma through myself, through my mind, right? I realize my Atma through my mind. So what is that? When I say that I see myself means what happens? I see myself means I and myself becomes the same. So the mind has become immediately merged with Atma. When I say I see myself, what is that I? So I is the person, the knower. Myself is the thing that you know, but that is again the knower because myself is the Atma. So when I say I see myself with my buddhi. So I see myself means you see yourself means you understand that you are the Atma. Okay, that you realize yourself as you. When you realize yourself, the Atma as you, it is called self-realization. Okay, it might be confusing. It requires some more kinds of thought process. You can think about it now. So you have to have the buddhi. Through the buddhi, you will be able to see yourself. So what I see through me is myself. So I and myself are same. That is means that I realize that the myself is same. That is a self-realization. When I see myself as same as me, then that becomes self-realization. So how do they do that? Jnanena, they are able to see through jnana. Okay, now when you look at this, there is a very beautiful understanding we need to have in this. Is there are again 5 steps involved in that. How is that? Is that you have to first understand the various steps that we had in terms of preparation in the 12th chapter. We have understood that there are 5 stages of bhakti that one needs to go through: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. I think all of you will be pretty familiar with that. I don't want to talk about that. Now, the very first stage is called karma yoga. Okay. When you want to have a moksha liberation, the first stage is karma yoga. We also studied that in the bhakti chapter. Okay. By karma yoga, what happens is that it leads to mala nivritti. Mala nivritti means it is capable of removing the impurities of your mind. Okay, so karma yoga will be able to provide mala nivritti, which means that all the mental impurities will be going away. What are the mental impurities one can have? Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All these kinds of things that is sitting in the mind will all go away. When you start, instead of selfishly working for me, when I do paropakaram, then kama comes down. My desire for possessiveness comes down. Selfishness starts coming down. Selfishness comes down, then krodha, anger will start coming down. Then moha, wrong understanding will come down. Lobha, your greed will come down. And then mada, the kind of pride and ego will come down. And matsarya, jealousy will come down. So all these things are extremely important. So karma yoga is the first step, which is going to prepare a person in terms of impurity removal. Mala nivrutti is called the first step in terms of understanding Bhagavan. The second step we said is upasana. Karma yoga itself, there are 2 stages we have discussed about it. The second stage in terms of realization will be upasana. Upasana is supposed to be meditation. In the case of meditation, what is that we are going to do? We are going to move from external to internal. All these days I was looking for things outside, but now I am going to go inside. So I start focusing my thought process and mind inside. This is called vikshepa nivritti. Vikshepa nivritti means my extrovertedness, my running behind the external world of things, I am going to have a total control. So you go in for a vikshepa nivritti by upasana. So that is the second thing. And what happens is that by vikshepa nivritti, when you start going inside, it starts improving your mental faculty. It starts making your mind much more calmer. It makes you much more less anxious. So that is the second stage you go to. Okay. Then from upasana, what is that you have to do in the case of the realization is Vedanta Shravana. Vedanta Shravana means you have to have a systematic study. Why do you have to have systematic study? Or most of us will have to undergo these kinds of teaching, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, or many of those kinds of things to understand what is the purpose of life, goals of life, Purushartha, and what is the self, etc. So the studies will, what is that studies are giving you? If you now look back, last 12 chapters we have studied, what is that it has provided you? It has provided you with a kind of jnanam, which means that earlier I was thinking that body, body, deha abhimana was there. Now I understand that it is a mixture of body, that is the Prakriti plus Purusha is what I am. And my true nature is Purusha. So that is the understanding you have, which means that study, which is called Shravana, is going to remove Ajnanam. So that is called Ajnana Nivritti. So first is what? Mala Nivritti is required through Karma Yoga. Then second thing is Vikshepa Nivritti required through Upasana Yoga. Third one will be in terms of Shravanam, you will be able to get Ajnana Nivritti, right? Then you will be able to have this one. Then next stage is that Mananam. Mananam is now you are having this class, we are all discussing for 1 hour. After discussion in the class, you may go back and you will have a lot of doubts. Even the 15 minutes that time, we have a lot of people have got lot of doubts. So all those doubts are necessary to be clarified. Either you have to study yourself or once again think about it and clarify it, or talk to somebody who knows about it, or bring it up in the next class and try to clarify to the extent possible. I'll also be able to clarify. That means that you have to work on these kinds of things so that you are free of confusion, you are free of doubt. That means that Manana will help you to remove Samshayam. Samshaya Nivrutti by Mananam. So you have to do Samshaya Nivrutti through Mananam, which means whatever you studied, you have a lot of doubts. All those doubts need to be clarified. You are understanding that yes, I am very clear, Purusha is there, Prakriti is there. It is only the combination mixture that I am seeing. That understanding has got to very, very clearly come. And you need to have a very convincing knowledge of what is consciousness. That is very, very important. So that requires a lot more of Mananam, Shravanam, and Mananam. All these things are important. Then next is called Nididhyasana, the fifth stage in the case of realization. Nididhyasana means that right from birth, we have got lot of habits. We have been having lot of vasanas, not only because of this life, but also for the past life, we have got tendencies. Those tendencies will not easily go away. Somebody will have a tendency, if coffee is not hot, they'll immediately get angry. Somebody will get stuck in a traffic signal, they'll get angry. So there are different kinds of tendencies. I've just taken two kind of small examples. There are different types of tendencies which will try to start taking you away. So because of that, your responsiveness will be different in the terms of the word. All the responses that you show because of these vasanas may not be healthy. There are unhealthy responses or unhealthy reactions that you have. And primarily, these things are going to lead to what? Anxiety, frustration, self-pity. Sometimes you have sense of insecurity, fear, attachment. All these things will be there. We always have a viparita bhavana. Whenever something happens, immediately heaven is going to fall down, and then we have got viparita bhavana. Oh, everything is gone, insecurity, then that's all. I have got some breathing problem. I'm going to doctor. Doctor is going to diagnose something. We go into fear of insecurity. So what happens is that he have to come out of all these kinds of fear, anxiety, etc. by proper nididhyasana. Only when you pass through these kinds of 5 stages and have a very clear conviction, it is possible to Chanena Atmani Pashyanti Atmanam Atmana. Otherwise, it's not possible. So you have to undergo. Now I think you'll be able to understand the Bhakti Yoga 5 steps, and these steps, which are all the kinds of things which is going to facilitate a person in terms of trying to continuously prepare one's andakarana for this. It is possible that a person will not be able to get to the 5 stages in this life itself. Not possible. I think most of the time it may not be possible to start crossing the 5 steps in one Janma itself. You may perhaps work in the Janma for the first step or second step, but Bhagavan has assured that whichever step that you are in and the body starts falling, I will ensure you that the next Janma that you take, you start from that level only. So that you find that some of the people today, there is one Abhinav Sharma, somebody, I find some of his videos, such a young boy at the age of, he's only in teens. the amount of knowledge he has is something phenomenal. So they all start at the different levels depending upon the amount of spiritual growth that they had in their previous life. So you don't have to get worried that I am not able to get into the realization. You have to take at least step one, Mala Nivritti, try. From Mala Nivritti, you go to what is the second thing? Vikshepa Nivritti. From Vikshepa Nivritti, you go to Ajnana Nivritti. Ajnana Nivritti, you go to Samshaya Nivritti. From then you have to go to this thing. So whichever stage you are, don't worry about it. But it is essential that one has to start continuously moving forward. So, Jnanena Atmani Pashyanti Kyajid Atmana Atmana. And we also have to understand one more thing. It is like a temple may have a lot of gopurams. I think gopuram is used in other languages I do not know. Gopurams are the huge entrances you have. There may be 5, 6 entrances for a temple, a lot of things. But when you have to get to the Garbhagraha, where the idol is placed, there's only one way. Similarly, there could be multiple ways of sadhanas, etc. But the only way one can realize is by jnanam. That jnanam, whatever we talk, we have to understand jnanam. But at the end of the day, jnanena atmani pashyanti atmanam atmana. That's what is important. Okay. Next, anyecha sankhyena yogena karma yogena chapare. Other people, he says that it is possible to teach. Other people, Sankhya may be Sannyasa Yoga or by Karma Yoga. But understand that be it Karma Yoga or Sannyasa Yoga, it is all only going to help you in terms of Antakarana Suddhi. And you have to necessarily go through these processes. But so he says that the others will be able to reach this by understand them through the Karma Yoga or Sannyasa Yoga. Bhagavan is telling them that those are the right paths that you are taking. Don't worry about it. If I say that Karma Yoga, you will be able to achieve self-realization. It is something like when you do algebra geometry in class 7, you can get into IIT. That is the understanding. It is not that just because I do 7th standard algebra geometry, I'll be able to go and sit down and write IIT entrance exam. It's not possible. But he says that if you are in this process, if not this Janma, next Janma, you'll be able to move forward. So it may be a Sannyasa Yoga or it might be even Karma Yoga. At the end of the day, if you are going to be in the right way and then start moving, coming out of each of the obstacles, Nivruti, Mala Nivruti, etc., that we talked about, then you'll be able to start moving up and up in terms of realization. That is the meaning of this. Okay, next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Anye deva majanantah.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Yes,
Kashmira.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः
श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते
श्रुध्वान्येभ्य उपासते श्रुध्वान्येभ्य उपासते
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुध्वान्येभ्य उपासते अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुध्वान्येभ्य उपासते.
Good. Next.
Sharad Chavan Mahodaya.
Tepi chati tarantyeva.
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव
मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः
मृत्युश्रुतिपरायणाः तेऽपि चातिरन्त्येव मृत्युश्रुतिपरायणः तेऽपि चातिरन्त्येव
Just you listen to me once slowly and then look at what I'm chanting and also the text that you see and
Okay.
repeat slowly. Okay.
Okay.
Te tarantyeva mrutyum shruti parayanaha.
तेऽपि चातिरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणः तेऽपि चातिरन्त्येव श्रुतिपरायणः.
You need to just follow. Next, one more person.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Tepi chatitarantyev.
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव
Mrityum श्रुतिपरायणाः.
मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Good. Next.
K. Pavani Bhagini.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते. अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते. तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Good. Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Good. One more person.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yeah, full shloka, please.
Okay, but
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चातितरन्त्येव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः.
Okay. So Bhagavan says that, he had told it is very important that jnanena atmani atmanam atmana pashyanti. That is the most important thing. Then he has also told karma yoga and sankhya yoga, which are all things that one can take in order to again get to that level. Similarly, he is now again going down. What does he go down further? He says that, however, evam ajanantah, these things somebody is not aware. Anye, other people who are not aware of these things, also, Shutva anyebhya upasate. Just listening to somebody who is giving satsang, right? Like some gurus will be giving some satsang. Okay, such kinds of things also one can listen. And that listening to those kinds of things also, one is able to get that knowledge. Okay, for example, if you look at Maharashtra, you got Tukaram, you got Namdev, they got a lot of abhangs. Those abhangs are so meaningful. And then if you look at North India, Kabir Das. And if somebody, instead of just listening to the melody of the music, if somebody start understanding what is he telling in terms of the meaning, and they are able to understand and connect to the meaning that is being presented, they also will be in a position to start moving in the process of self-realization. But nevertheless, it is essential that self-realization requires all these nivritti, mala nivritti, vikshepa nivritti, ajnana nivritti, samshaya nivritti, all these things are essential. Then only the mind is capable of getting that knowledge. So, this thing, Shritva Anyepi Upasate, listening to somebody who is talking about that also is going to be very great. Some gurus will be there, some very big Mahatmas will be there. And by doing that also, they api, those people also, cha atitarantyeva mrityum, they also will be able to cross over the samsara of birth and death. Shruti parayanaha, continuously listening to this. Okay. But please understand that it is essential that one has to understand ultimately that Prakriti and Purusham are different. I am the Purusham. I am the person who is, the Atma is the one that my nature, and I am this, the Prakriti is the body. So I have, this understanding has to be very, very clear. So if it is possible that somebody has not undergone formal teaching, but he has also been able to have this context clear with all these kinds of things also, they may also be in a position to get liberated, rather than somebody reading all these Upanishads, etc. But still they are not able to differentiate between Prakriti and Purusha. They will also not be in a successful thing. They may be spending the entire life in reading Upanishads, etc. But if they still do not know how to know Kshetram, Kshetrajnan, how to understand these things properly and then contemplate and then have a good conviction, they also will not be able to get. So what he says is that even those kinds of things are okay. If you look at Tamil Nadu also, we had a lot of people, like we have got Nayars, they have got fantastic compositions from Thevaram. Alvas have got a beautiful pasurams on Sri Krishna. Then we also had a lot of people like, Ramalingadila, Pattinattar, He has also, for example, Pattinattar has made a very simple song, Kayame idu poyyada kattadaitha panjada. Some of you Tamil can understand. It's a 1950s song. Kayame idu poyyada kattadaitha payyada. They say this Kayam, this body is false. It is just an inflated thing, it is just inflated with air. It's just myth only. He says, Kayame idu poyyada kattadaitha panjada. Mayanaram Koyavan Saida Manpanda Vodada. He says that this has been done by Maya, a potter who is a Maya, and he has made this kind of a pot like a structure only. That's all. So do not believe that this Kayam is you. He says, do not have Deha Abhimana. Kayame idu Poyada, Katarit Panjada. It's a very, many of us would have heard this, but the understanding of that becomes very, very critical in terms of moving forward. So even though what he says is that you are able to start listening to some of these Mahatmas and you are able to get the Tattva by the wonderful stories will be there. There are a lot of people who can do beautiful storytelling of these things, like Namdev, Pandit, Tukaram, and then some Tyagaraja Swamigal. If you have listened to some of his beautiful songs, it's all packed with this. Then you look at Rajaji, he has got a lot of beautiful things. But then Bhajagovindam of Adi Shankaracharya, it is full of packed up only with this information. And then there's one Nirvana Shatkam, I think I shared you earlier. Maybe today I'll also post it to you again. Nirvana Shatkam very clearly talks about what is all Prakriti. What is it? Mano Buddhi Ahankar Jittani Naham. Nacha Shota Jihve, Nacha Grana Netra. I'll send you with the meaning and also the lyrics and also the beautifully sung things. It is a wonderful thing for contemplation to understand that Prakriti and Purusha are two different things. That has to be there. That cognition has to come. It should be, though I see my hand as a hand, I should know that hand has got light, and hand and light only will be able to make me see. And hand and light are two entirely independent things and they don't mix. The presence of that only is visible. That understanding of Prakriti and Purusha should be very clear. That is very, very important. Okay. So even those people who are just listening to such kinds of satsangs will also be able to move. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, you have to remove all these 5 obstacles which are really essential for the person to move up. Okay. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bagni.
यावत् संजायते किंचित
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् यावत् संजायते किञ्चित्
त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
सत्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् सत्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
यावत् संजायते किंचित सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
गुड नेक्स्ट
Krishna Pavani Bhagini.
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात्
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात्
तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा
नेक्स्ट
Rajeshwari Bhagini.
यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् तत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् तत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
नेक्स्ट
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
नेक्स्ट
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
Okay, I think there was some disconnect. Doesn't matter. Okay, next.
Anupama Bhagini.
Full shloka once.
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
Good. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
One more person.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, sir. यावत् संजायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम् क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
Okay. So Bhagavan, what he says in this shloka is a very simple thing. I think because we have read a lot of things in the chapter, this is a very simple shloka for you all to understand. Yavati sanjayate, whatever is born, sattvam, which is existent, okay, whether it is thavaram or jangamam, whether it's going to be stationary like a plant which is existing, or jangamam like people or animals which are all moving, okay. Whatever has been born, kinchite, sattvam, the one that has got existence, be it stavaram, be it the immobile things like a plant, or jangamam, the one that is able to move, stavara jangamam. You have to understand that whatever has got a existence, it is kshetra, kshetrajna sayoga. It is the mixture of kshetra and kshetrajna. Tad vidhi, please understand Bharata. Bharatashava, the Rishabha among the Bharata Kula, that is Arjuna, please understand that whatever you see in the life forms that is have there in the entire universe, which are sentient, which have got life, which is existent, it is always a kshetra, kshetrajna samyogam. That is what you have to understand. So this is one of the most important things that we need to also keep in our mind, that we have to understand that it is a mixture of Prakriti and Purusha in everything that is existent, which is whether it is stationary like a plant or an animal which has got life in that. Okay. Yavat sanjayate kinchid sattvam stavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna sanyogat tad vidhi bharatarshava. Okay, we'll take one more shloka.
Sri Lakshmi Bhagini.
Samam sarveshu bhuteshu
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु
तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्
तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम् समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
विनश्यस्त्व विनश्यन्तं
विनश्यत्स्वविनश्यन्तम् विनश्यत्स्वविनश्यन्तम्
यः पश्यति स पश्यति
यः पश्यति यः पश्यति स पश्यति यः पश्यति स पश्यति
विनश्यस्त्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति
विनश्यत्स्वविनश्यन्तम् यः पश्यति स पश्यति विनश्यत्स्वविनश्यन्तम् यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Good. Next.
Sharad Chavan Mahodaya.
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम् Somebody else?
Yes. Yes, sir. Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Yes, sir. समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम् समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्.
Next.
Sheila
Sir.
Shinde Bhagini.
विनश्यस्त्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति
विनश्यत्स्व विनश्यन्तम् यः पश्यति स पश्यति विनश्यत्स्व विनश्यन्तम् यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Next.
Rajeshwari Bhagini.
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम् विनश्यस्त्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
One more person.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु निष्ठं तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्स्व विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति.
Good. So now, if you look at the initial shloka, no, I'm just looking at, yeah, that is the third shloka. Kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In the same chapter, second shloka or third shloka. Okay, third shloka, I think. He says that Kshetrajñam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. He said that, Bhagavan says that, I am the Kshetrajñan in all the kshetram. If you look at anything in the world, in the any kind of any kind of sentient things, then I am the knower. Okay, and I am there in every one of the things. Sarva kshetreshu. So the kshetrajnam in me is a kshetrajnam in you. It's a kshetrajnam in anybody, any other human being, and that is the Atma, that is the Brahman, and Bhagavan says that is me. Okay, the same shloka is being told in a different way here. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwaram is what? Parameshwaram is nothing but kshetrajnam. Parameshwaram is Brahman. Parameshwaram is consciousness. Tishtantam parameshwaram is there in all the things. Where sarva bhuteshu, in all the beings it is there. Where samam sarveshu, it is not that it is only in me, it is not there in you. It is not like that. Like kshetrajnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Here it is samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. The same meaning. I say that samam in all the human beings, all the beings. Okay, I am there as Parameshwaram. I am there as Atma. I am there as Brahman. I am there as the master of the universe. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu chittantam parameshwaram. So same as the second shloka, third shloka's meaning. Then next he says that vinashyastu avinashyantam. Vinashyastu is what? The ones that can get destroyed. If you look at a human body, the body is going to get destroyed. It is supposed to be vinasham will be there for this. Vinashyatsu. Among the one that is going to get destroyed, among the body, avinashyantam, which is the avinashyantam, one that cannot get destroyed, Atma. So when you look at somebody, you have to understand that they are a combination of Purusha and Prakriti, Vinashyastu avinashyantam. So if you are able to have that kind of discrimination in understanding that Purusha and Prakriti, and when I see, what I see is this is Vinashyastu and there is Avinashyantam also inside them, and that is the way Ya Pashyati, the one who is able to see like this, Saha Pashyati, he is the one who has really understood between Purusha and Prakriti, and he is the one who is also able to understand his own knowledge, his own Rupa, his own true nature. That is the meaning of this sloka. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyastu avinashyantam ya pashyati sa pashyati. So we will stop with this sloka today, okay? Yayevam vetti purusham prakrutincha gunai saha sarvatha vartamanopi nassa bhuyopi jhayate dhyane natmani pashyanti kechidatmanam anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare anye veva majanantah Shutvanyebhya upasate tepi chatittaram eva mrutyum shruti parayanaha yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna sayyogat tadviti bharatarshava samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyasva vinashyantam yah pashyati sa pashyati. Om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. You can stop the YouTube.